XRP is currently completing a formation that's led to its last 3 big breakouts. And in this video, I want to show you the exact chart pattern taking place and exactly what that news catalyst is going to be to break XRP out of it. Guys, we are getting some huge confirmations right now that XRP might be strategically placed to be the #1 cryptocurrency in America. I want to show you something very big that kind of got announced under the radar today that I believe is going to strategically put XRP above every other cryptocurrency in the United States financial system. This is something that was talked about a little bit before. It's not the strategic reserve, and it is a very big deal. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who takes the time to like these videos and subscribe to the channel. These 2 simple things really do help me out so much. Also, if you have a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange uphold down in the description of this video. With that said, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. Because one of the things I want to quickly talk about before we get into the chart formation and the news catalyst that's going to break us out of the chart formation is some of the meltdowns we are watching on social media right now. A lot of people are so curious, why are these Bitcoin maximalists so upset by some of the things happening in the broader crypto ecosystem? And I think a lot of people really miss the big picture. What they are is threatened. They are absolutely threatened because things like XRP have completely replaced the core utility of Bitcoin. Now, that's not to say Bitcoin doesn't have utility or Bitcoin doesn't have value, but it shows where a lot of that anger and a lot of that concern is coming from. Right now, they are lashing out because Bitcoin has essentially failed to do what Bitcoin was created to do, and that's to be a P2P payment system. Now, I want to share with you something very interesting because this is going to allow you to fully understand where all this anger is coming from, why there's so much FUD about XRP right now. It's really hard to understand it until you go back and look at the core principles of what Bitcoin is. Now, earlier today, a video of Jack Dorsey actually came out of him talking about this exact thing. And you are going to very quickly understand where all of this FUD and all of this tribalism is coming from. It's very important to know that what Jack Dorsey is going to talk about here is Bitcoin's core values, the core reason Bitcoin was created. And Bitcoin is failing to do the things he talks about in this video. The reason that Bitcoiners have switched the narrative for Bitcoin is because it can't do the things it was set out to do. Therefore, they transitioned it to a store of value. We're going to talk a little bit more about why that store of value narrative is now breaking down in real time, but I want to start off and show you where the core ethos of Bitcoin was and how Bitcoin has failed to achieve this.
Holders, if this ends up just being digital gold, I think it's failed.
How do you feel about the concept of nation-state reserves?
The strategic national Bitcoin stockpile.
Well, I think it's good for the nation state. I don't know if it's necessarily good for Bitcoin. It's probably good for Bitcoin holders in the moment that the Bitcoin is bought. But if this ends up just being digital gold, I think it's failed. I don't think it has a life. If it ends up being a currency that people can use on a daily basis, then it's succeeded. You have to go back to the white paper. This is P2P electronic cash, and we have not realized that yet. And that's why I'm in it. I'm not in it to create digital gold and watch the number go up. Like, I want to be able to use it. I want everyone in the world to not have to ask for permission to move money and to have to ask their bank whether they can deposit something or withdraw. And if we don't achieve that, to me, it's a failed project and we should move on to something else.
So what's so interesting about those statements is most of the Bitcoiners have already moved on from this P2P payment system. Bitcoin's too slow, too expensive, and it just doesn't work like that. And if we take a look at what all institutions are adopting, it's not Bitcoin for payments, right? It's things like XRP using Ripple's technology to access the underlying XRP ledger. So this right here is where a lot of the concern is coming from the core Bitcoin maxis. The idea behind Bitcoin is completely shifted. It's shifted to this reserve asset and completely away from what Bitcoin was designed to do. Now, this is why we have seen so much lash out against things like XRP recently. Very recently, we have seen extremely credible claims that XRP is likely going to be held in the United States Strategic Reserve. Because of this, Bitcoin is now failing on its next narrative, that it's the only store of value that is digital gold. Because the second we have something like XRP also being in the strategic reserve, that means Bitcoin is undifferentiated from the rest of the cryptocurrency market. So now, not only has XRP replaced Bitcoin in terms of this P2P payment system moving money and just corporate level money movements, now we're seeing XRP also disrupt this idea of digital gold or a reserve asset. Take a look at this. Last night, and I shared this on the channel, we have the current crypto czar, David Sachs, has right now a Bank XRP video posted on his X page. He also just so happens to follow Bank XRP. He also just happened to celebrate when Ripple beat the SEC case, saying that it was a massive win for the entire cryptocurrency industry and specifically for XRP. So this is a guy who is very in line with this idea of a crypto strategic reserve, things like XRP being in there. And now what you're watching is all of what the Bitcoiners wanted Bitcoin to be slowly being replaced by XRP. A lot of them have already abandoned this idea that's going to be a payment system, right? Just because it's too slow, it's inefficient, people aren't really using for that. So they said, okay, it's digital gold. But then you move on to the digital gold narrative, and now you have other cryptocurrencies being essentially put in the same mix and that same narrative. That is why they're lashing out. The only thing they have left is to try to discredit all of these other protocols, trying to say, oh, you shouldn't like it because of this, you shouldn't like it because of that. But at the end of the day, these are just opinions. These are things they think. It doesn't come down to the core utility in which XRP is better than Bitcoin in almost all of these things. Now, I want to share with you something else. This was actually Matt Gaetz earlier today. Matt Gaetz is actually going back at the same idea. Bitcoin Magazine tweeted out, we didn't vote for a strategic crypto reserve, we voted for a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And Matt Gaetz said, I must have missed that on the ballot measure. So what he's saying is like, look, we are putting together a crypto strategic reserve that puts American innovation first. We didn't agree to do some Bitcoin only reserve. That doesn't make sense. And we need to understand why this is happening. These people are not Bitcoin maxis who are making this policy. They're coming at it from a pragmatic, smart approach, thinking, well, let's focus on American innovation. Let's focus on these American cryptocurrencies. Let's focus on the things actually with utility, making real world changes to the financial system. And we're seeing government official after government official taking the opposite stance of the Bitcoin maxis. That doesn't have to be Bitcoin. There's a lot of different things that can fit into this picture. And I think this is really starting to prove that a lot of these rumors and narratives we're hearing are probably going to be playing out. That all these rumors saying it's not just going to be Bitcoin, it's going to be XRP too, are probably going to play out. And as I talked about earlier, this destroys the core thesis of what the Bitcoiners were setting up Bitcoin to be. Now, when it comes to that next big catalyst that I mentioned in the video, and this is a very big deal, it's starting to look like the rumor behind no capital gains taxes on US-based cryptocurrencies is going to be true. Now, it's very important to realize that for a long time, I didn't put a lot of actual credit in the people saying this. Or I shouldn't say didn't put credit in the people saying it. I didn't really necessarily put a lot of faith in the rumor. And that's because we never had any real confirmation. But earlier today, we actually had Eric Trump coming out and saying that, yeah, no, we're actually thinking about doing this. This is an actual real thing. US cryptocurrencies have zero capital gains tax. If this was to happen, it would change the entire paradigm for the cryptocurrency industry. Because every single person on earth would have to reevaluate their positions and say, hey, I need to be in an American cryptocurrency to save on the capital gains implications. It is going to completely shift the market in a completely new direction. It is going to say, hey, we want to focus on America first. And right now, XRP is strategically placed to be that #1 American cryptocurrency. This would change the paradigm for XRP. A complete 180 in how the entire market looked at these assets. And if we were in a position where not only did we have XRP in the strategic reserve, but we also had XRP completely disintermediating Bitcoin for payments, and we had no capital gains tax on XRP, guys, these are the kinds of things, and I say this very knowledgeable of how powerful it is, that could cause XRP to literally flip Bitcoin. I am not even kidding. If these three things were implemented tomorrow, I think XRP would flip Bitcoin in the matter of a couple months. Very confident of it. The fact that we are actually seeing these rumors coming true, confirmed, being put into place, these are the kinds of things that will completely flip the current narratives of crypto on their head and completely change the status of XRP in this entire cryptocurrency world. We are talking to people now who are not Bitcoin native, who are not crypto native. We are talking to people who come from the traditional financial system, people who can't move money right now fast and efficiently, people who understand how broken the system is, and are looking for things that make sense to them. Moving money faster and more efficiently is a very simple use case. And when these people start to see an American cryptocurrency who has clearly backed President Trump a lot in terms of donations, that is actually making a real world difference in solving these problems, it is going to be extremely obvious to them that that's something they want to promote. Now, in terms of how all this plays out on the price chart, this is the last thing I want to talk about. This formation for XRP recently has just been insane. Every single time XRP enters one of these symmetrical triangles, we have seen massive volatility in XRP. Now, because of the bullish catalyst we have gotten, it has been things like a strategic reserve or no capital gains taxes on crypto that has caused XRP to go flying out of these things to the upside. Right now, we're still kind of based off rumors and promises of this stuff happening. But if we were to see over the next couple days some kind of legitimate confirmation in terms of XRP being incorporated with the current administration on any level, no capital gains taxes, strategic reserve, some kind of plan to build it into the current banking system, any single one of these would shoot XRP so quickly through all-time highs, we would be breaking out of this pattern in ways that only XRP can. That's the only way I can put it. Why XRP moves the way it does, I have no idea. It moves insanely compared to the rest of the market, but these are the kinds of things that would line up perfectly with the XRP price chart and send us out of this formation right through the $4 mark. Guys, we'll see how all this plays out, but I cannot stress enough. These are things that if you asked me 3 months ago, I would have said not a chance we will see that. It's way too optimistic. We're not there yet. It's going to take so much more time. And now not only are we hearing rumors about these things, we are now getting confirmation, and just with a simple amount of analysis by what people in these positions of power are saying, it just seems like it is lining up perfectly with the rumors we're hearing. Guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this video. And for now, Mickle out.